Welcome to my Happy Stamping Studio. I'd like to welcome all my live viewers as well as those of you on replay. Be sure to give me a shout out, say hello, give me thumbs up if you like something, hearts if you really love it. Be sure to share this video with your friends because I know they love paper crafting too. So today we are going to be using the yeah, sorry, the Beary Cute Bundle. And last week I highlighted this on my product spotlight. So I thought, you know what? I am going to start doing the product spotlight and then using that item, if possible, on Tuesdays the following. So today we're going to make a really cute card, and I am going to be doing a lot of cutting in front of you because some of you have asked me on some of my cutting if I could show it on screen. So I'm going to be doing that today. So jump on in, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today. So I'm going to flip you around and we're going to get started. This was actually a bundle that I highlighted this last weekend when in our holidays event that was free to all of my customers. And so here it is. It's the stamp set and the punch. I am using the designer series paper, and that's what we're going to be cutting up today. And I'm using Balmy Blue and Misty Moonlight paper and some basic white for the insert and for the inside of the card, and then a scrap to do some stamping on. I am using some other punches today also, and some rhinestone basic jewels. And then I am going to use this silver trim from our Simply Elegant trim pack. It comes with gold and silver. I'm using this silver today. I am also going to use the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. And I'm going to give you a couple tips when I use this today. It's kind of hard to see the patterns here. Let me see if I take my Misty Moonlight underneath. There you go. So now you can see that great pattern on there. It's like snow falling. You got your snowflakes and then the light snow falling down too. I love this embossing folder. And it goes with, sorry, it is part of the Sweet collection, but it goes with so many of the holiday stamp sets in our new mini catalog. So we are going to start out with our pieces of cardstock and our designer series paper because I want to get that out of the way. So I have my Misty Moonlight, and then I have these three patterns that I want to use. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use the back side of this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with this piece right here. And going from there, I want this is a basic 4 by 5 1/4. And so my pieces are going to be 3 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I am going to take a piece of basic white, and that's what I'm going to adhere this all to. And I'm going to cut it 3 3/4 by 5 inches because that's what my mat's going to be. So I want to piece everything onto this mat. So the first thing you're going to do is pick 3 patterns. And I have chosen these 3 that I'm going to be using. Oops, sorry. And I'm using these snowflakes too. I do know I want this in the top quadrant of this. I don't need it quite so wide. I need it, I'm going to cut it down. Oh, I think this is 3.5 inches. I am going to cut it down to 3 inches. And I am going to leave it at the length that it is. And I am going to be putting this in the top right corner. I may have just cut the wrong piece, but that's okay. I still have that large scrap left. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Seal and attach this to my card. And this is going to be the first piece of the pattern. I'm going to place that right into that corner. Okay. right like that. Okay, so that's our start. Now, the next piece, I'm going to want it to angle down this way. So I do know that I want these cute polar bear paws. So what I want to do is I want to turn my paper to see what I want. So I'm going to place it on here, and I know it's going to cover that up and it's going to overlap that piece. So I didn't have to do that piece probably quite as big as I wanted, but I find that it's easier to do your pieces a little bit bigger. So I am going to cut this one. I'm going to move it off so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to move it up a little bit. So I know I want it to angle down. I want it to angle down to about here. So I'm going to cut off part of that package. So I'm going to just do a little tick mark there, and I want it to come up to here. Okay, so I've got those 2 tick marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that top tick mark, put it in the cutting groove, and then I'm going to take this, oh, I lined it up perfectly first time. This tick mark gets in that groove. And what I'm going to do is I'm then going to cut that piece. And I think I am going to luck out and be able to use that back piece. So I'm going to attach that right onto my base. Now you could use your liquid glue. It's my favorite glue. And we're just going to put it on there, not too close to the edges, but this glue gives us a little bit of wiggle room. So, whoops, I shouldn't be doing this on my cutter. This is why my cutter gets glue on it. I'm going to put that to the side. Put this right down here, right in this corner. So, you guys had a lovely weekend? Our weather was gorgeous. We had a lot of rain yesterday, which we needed. So that is going to overlap. So now I'm going to take this piece and I want it to come down, and it's going to come across. So if I lower this, I can see, I can use that as a guide, and then I am going to mark it here. Okay, should you probably use a white gel pen because this is dark. No, mark it right there. Then I want to see, oops, I need to see, make sure this is straight. Okay, I've got it flat along the bottom. So mark a tick mark here, and then I'm going to lift it up a little bit and find out where it ends down here. And I'm going to put a tick mark right here. Okay, so I have my tick marks, and let's hope I can see them. Okay, this one's here, and the one on the bottom is the one I can't see. So let me mark that again. I'm going to grab a white gel pen. That way we can see what Judy's doing. Line that tick mark up, and this tick mark is right here. So I've marked it with the white gel pen so I can see it a little bit better. So I'm cutting that angle next. So I'm going to this tick mark and that tick mark and just cutting it. So that creates a V. Okay, now what I can do, and I have this, I know I'm going to have to trim this side. I'm going to go ahead and put glue and tape on here and put that down. Now I could have changed this and had the bear paws up here instead, which would look cute. And I could have used this entire piece if I had switched around. I would have probably put the dark at the bottom and then the snowflakes at the top instead. I'm going to go ahead and line this up, the bottom there. Oops, a little bit more showing. So let's get this on there. There we go. Okay, go ahead and put that on. So that's our background, except we need to trim this off. You can use your scissors, you can use your paper trimmer, which is what I am going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. And I am trimming off just a smidge of the white. Let me get this up. I need a new blade, so I'm hoping that this cuts pretty good. Got a piece stuck in there, so hang on. So we've got that piece. As you can see, it wasn't on there perfectly square. I do want to trim the bottom just a smidgen. A smidgen. So we're going to cut that. So that creates that fun background. You could take scraps that you have and do that. Okay, we're next going to place it onto our mat. So let me grab my glue. And this is kind of a patchwork for you quilters out there. You're used to making quilts and patchworking your pieces of fabric. This is the same idea. So we have that. We're not going to place it on our card base yet. So next I want to cut out I forgot to punch out my circle from there to save paper. Let me get some Misty Moonlight. I've got scraps, so that's okay. And I'm going to be punching out our decorative circle. I'm going to use that. Now you could use red if you wanted to highlight your package down there, and this is going to be popped up there. We are going to punch out, and I haven't decided if I wanted a 2, I think the 2 3/8 is too big. So I'm going to go with a 2-inch circle right here. Now I want to add a little bit of texture to that circle. So I am going to grab my cut and emboss machine, and I have plate number 1 and plate number 4 because this is a 3D embossing folder, so it is a lot thicker. So we're going to put this on, and now you want to pay attention to your patterns on here. I want to get a couple of snowflakes if possible. I'm going to put that on there. You're going to put it in folded end first and run it through. Oops, I've got plate number 2 in there. It should go smoothly. There we go. So if you have a little bit of trouble, make sure you have your plates right, which I didn't. Okay, and this is going to create such a fun texture on this circle. Can you see that with the snowflakes? So much fun. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that directly onto our decorative circle punch. See how that works just perfectly? If I use the next size up, all you would see are those little circles there. But you know what? I'm going to add something that I wasn't planning on to begin with. I do want that red to stand out a little bit. So let me see. Grab a piece of real red, and I am going to grab that 2 3/8 inch punch. And let's hope that we see it underneath. Probably only going to see a little bit, yep, but that's just enough to make this package punch out. It makes it pop out. So I'm going to go actually and put this directly onto my card. Just like this. Okay, we're going to be popping this up with some dimensionals. I've got a piece here. And then I'm going to take an edge from my minis. You just peel this up. I like to use the edges when I'm going to be adhering cording and such to my card. Let me make sure those stick down. It's easier to do when you don't have them, the dimensionals still on there. You know, you use all the inside and then you peel the back or the edges off. Okay, there we go. I'm going to stick this on here. This little one decided it didn't want to stay home, so we are going to put it on there. And this one, oh, they're sticking all over today. So here we go. Ooh, silence, not good, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take our silver cording and I'm going to wrap it around 3 fingers, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail. I'm going to wrap it around 3 fingers twice, and then, or actually I'm going to wrap it around 4 fingers tight twice, and then I'm going to leave a little bit looser. There we go. And once again, I'm going to leave a tail. Okay, now we want this to go all kitty wampus is what I call it. We want it to stick out from the sides. We're going to have it stick out from this side. Okay, now that helps hold it on there, those dimensionals. And we'll have that cute little accent on there. But I like to take my tear and strip tape. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean. I can't talk today. And I'm going to go right over. I need to trim it a little bit here. I'm going right over that dimensional. That will help it stick to the card base. Okay, I'm going to need to trim it just a little bit. I got these little chads all over. Okay, I'm going to take this little piece that I cut off, put it on top of that dimensional. Okay, that's going to help those dimensionals stick. And then you're going to rub this on here so you can peel it off. And I am going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. You guys learned a lot. Those of you that attended my event, online event Friday, learned a lot of tips with this Take Your Pick tool. I think it's everybody's favorite tool. I know I am always using it. Okay, so now we're going to need to decide how we want, and we can still finagle these little loops here. This one's a little twisted. Let's untwist that one and put it down here. I'm going to have it go to the top a little bit, and there's a reason for that. We are going to be putting our polar bear. This is almost a patriotic Christmas card, don't you think? Or winter card. Okay, now we're going to grab our stamps. And I want this guy here. Oops, some cards that I've made with this. Because this is the guy that goes with the punch. We're going to be putting him right on top of here. So let me grab my block. I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to do him in balmy blue today. Normally do him the darker color. I usually do him in Night of Navy, actually. But we're going to do him in the balmy blue. And let me grab, I lost my piece of scrap paper, so I'm just grabbing another one. I'm going to stamp him on here with making sure that we have enough room to get him into that punch. Put him here, stamp. Ooh, I love him. Okay, now we're going to grab our punch, put him in and line him up. And there is a white line, you guys. Some people have asked me why, when you punch out images, don't they go right up to your lines? Well, this gives you a little bit of a wiggle room so you don't cut any of those lines off. I'm just lining up his ear. Okay, and let's punch him out. He's going to go right on here. Isn't he cute? And once again, I'm using dimensionals. I love a lot of pop on my cards, a lot of dimension. Stick this one down there. Let's take that off. Just like that. So here we go. I can see using this stamp set for, want that little snowflake to show. I want this little snowflake to show. So I can move him around. So we've got two snowflakes showing. There we go. Isn't that cute so far? Okay, so then we have several sentiments in here. And this time I'm just going to use warm wishes because I can use this card for anything by using that. So we are going to stamp that on a piece of basic white. We've got that scrap here. And this time I'm going to use the Night of Navy. Just going to stamp that right on there. Look at that. Isn't that nice and bold? I love sentiments that pop out like that. I just love it when they're thicker. And this font is a fun font. Ooh, I have to clean my paper snips here. They're kind of sticky. I'm cutting a lot of tape and stuff with it lately. Time to clean my tools. I usually try to clean my tools once a month. Do you guys have like a set time to clean your tools? I usually do at the end of the month. And I did actually, but then I've used them a lot. So these are going to have to be cleaned a little extra time this time. Okay, and I'm just going to go in a little bit here just to add to that whimsy of the words. And now I could put this anywhere. I could put this up here. I could put it down here. I could put it here. I don't want to cover that present up, so I'm going to put it down on the left. Those dimensionals are done. So let's grab some more minis. How many of you have started your Christmas cards? Comment below. Let me know if you started. You guys know I start in July. Sometimes I start in January. If I have an idea for some cards, I will go ahead and start in January. So I don't know. I kind of like it up here because it kind of balances it out. Yeah, I like it over here. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up a couple of these so it goes over the top. Just like that. So we've got that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my rhinestones on now because I am afraid that I will forget if I don't. So I want to put rhinestones in these snowflakes. And I forgot to order a refill for this, so my tacky stuff is almost all gone. So these snowflakes, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. 7 snowflakes, and I have all of the smaller rhinestones. So this is going to be a really blingy card. Who would think that polar bear cards would be blingy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to do those partial ones. So a little bit of bling there, a little bit of bling here. Okay. My card base is just your standard card base. Get my bone folder here. Okay. So embellishments on there. And one of the reasons I didn't put this piece on before is because I wasn't sure if I was going to wrap this trim around the entire piece or just have it sticking out like that. But I like the whimsy it gives. There we go. Spread that out a little bit. Okay, so that is the front of our card, but we have the inside of our card to do. Don't forget the inside of your cards. Now, I am going to go ahead. I'm putting a Christmas tree in this one. I want to do this tree, and I am going to do it in garden green. I'm going to put this here. Okay, I'm going to peel this off, do the detail. This is a 2-step stamp. And this doesn't have to be a Christmas tree. This can be just an evergreen out in the yard. Okay, I did not season this stamp, so I'm going to clean it off real quick. I'm going to show you how to season your photopolymer stamps. You know how sometimes when you have a more solid image, I'm sorry, it doesn't always stamp real good. So what I'll do is I will take my stamp and put it in Versamark. This also keeps your stamps from staining a whole lot, especially with those red. And then I'm going to stamp it right in there and see how it picks up all that ink. You only have to do that once. Let's get this in here. Just like that. And this is going to be a snowy tree. There we go. And I am going to grab the little polar bear, or maybe I'll grab the big one. I'm going to put him down here. I like him. So I'm going to grab my block. I'll clean my stamps really good after I get off. Some of you have asked me. We don't want the polar bear in green, do we? Be a sick polar bear. So here we go. Let's go. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Put him. And I am actually going to line this up. I'm going to wipe off his butt. I want him to look like he is partly behind this tree. So all I did was take actually a baby wipe that off. I'm going to line it up here. Right like that. There we go. See how it makes him look like he's sitting behind that tree? I could have masked, but I sometimes will look for an easy way of doing things. And I am just fine with that. So I am going to make sure that's dry. Go ahead. And if you wanted, if this was going to be a Christmas card, I have the choice of doing a Christmas card or just warm wishes with this card. Go ahead and put him on just like this. So I can do my sentiment later. I did get a little drop of ink there, but I will hide that with my sentiment, believe me. But isn't he cute? So I hope you enjoyed this layout and seeing a card using this bundle. It is the Beary Cute Bundle, and it is found in our new mini catalog. So I'd like to thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you again. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye-bye.